I want you to picture this. You just bought a brand new top-of-the-line gaming console. Maybe it's a PS5 or the latest Xbox. You plug it into your massive 4K TV, you settle into your couch, and you fire up the latest blockbuster game. You're expecting visual perfection, but then something feels off. The movement is just a tiny bit stuttery. The colors don't pop like they did in the commercial. When you spin the camera, the screen tears horizontally like a glitch in the Matrix. You check the settings, everything says 4K. You check the TV, it's brand new. So what's wrong? You look behind the TV, there's a tangled massive cables, but they all look identical. Just standard black rubbery cords. But here's the surprising truth. One of those cables is an imposter. It looks exactly like the others, fits into the same port, and even lights up your screen. But secretly, it is choking your brand new technology to death. Today, we're uncovering the mystery of the digital bottleneck, how a tiny invisible lane on a circuit board changed gaming forever, and why the term HDMI 2.1 is arguably the most confusing and necessary label in tech history. To understand HDMI 2.1, we first have to look at the highway problem. Before we had high-definition video, getting a picture from a VCR to a TV was simple. We used analog cables, those red, white, and yellow plugs. They were messy, but they worked, because the video data was basically a trickle of water. It didn't take much effort to push it through a wire. Then came the dark ages of early HD. As TVs got sharper, the data became a fire hose. Analog couldn't handle it. We needed a digital pipe. So, in 2002, the founders of HDMI, a group including heavy hitters like Sony, Toshiba, and Philips, created a standard. The idea was brilliant. One cable for video and audio. No more rat's nest. For years, this was fine. We lived in a world of 1080p, which is roughly 2 million pixels per frame. The digital highway was wide enough. But then, screens exploded in complexity. 4K isn't just twice as sharp as 1080p, it's 4 times the pixels. 8K? That's 16 times 1080p. Suddenly, our reliable digital highway was completely gridlocked. This brings us to the 3 reasons why HDMI 2.1 exists and why it's fundamentally different from the cable you've been using for 10 years. Think of an HDMI cable like a tunnel. Your video game or movie is a fleet of trucks trying to get through that tunnel to reach your TV screen. The old standard, HDMI 2.0, was a tunnel with 2 lanes. It could handle about 18 gigabytes of traffic per second. That's enough for a nice 4K movie running at a cinematic 24 or 60 frames per second. But HDMI 2.1, it widens that tunnel to a massive 48 gigabytes per second. Why do we need a tunnel that big? Because modern gaming doesn't just want 60 frames per second, it wants 120. That is a fleet of trucks twice as big, moving twice as fast. Without that wider tunnel, the traffic jams. The console has to slow down, drop frames, or lower the quality just to squeeze through. So, if we have the wider tunnel, why do we still see screen tearing? This is where the engineering gets brilliant. In the old days, your TV was a stubborn dictator. It refreshed its screen at a strict rhythm, tick, 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 usually 60 times per second. If your game console wasn't ready with the next image exactly when the TV demanded it, the TV would just show half of the old image and half of the new one. That's tearing. HDMI 2.1 introduces a legal peace treaty called Variable Refresh Rate, or VRR. Imagine 2 dancers. In the old days, the TV danced to its own beat, and the console tried awkwardly to keep up. With VRR, the TV waits. It says to the console, "I won't draw the next frame until you tell me you're ready." They dance in perfect sync. No tearing, no stutter. Now here's the part that involves lawyers and money. You might notice some older cables claim they can do 4K. Why does the industry push this specific 2.1 certification so hard? It's about copyright and audio. Have you heard of Dolby Atmos? That 3D surround sound where you hear helicopters flying above you? That requires massive data. The old eARC connection on your TV was too thin to send that uncompressed sound back to your soundbar. It was like trying to push a watermelon through a garden hose. HDMI 2.1 introduces eARC, Enhanced Audio Return Channel. It's a dedicated high-speed lane just for audio. This ensures that the expensive sound system you bought actually receives the high-quality signal you paid for. But there's a catch. The HDMI name is a trademark. Manufacturers pay a royalty to use it. Recently, the rules changed so that any device with even one of these new features can sometimes be labeled HDMI 2.1. That means your 2.1 TV might support the fast gaming, but not the high-quality sound, or vice versa. It's a marketing minefield. So, the next time you look behind your TV and see that boring, black, rubbery cord, I want you to see it differently. Don't see it as just a wire. See it as a high-speed data superhighway, a synchronized dance floor for electrons, and the only thing standing between you and the true power of your technology. It is a marvel of engineering disguised as a generic accessory. If this story surprised you, hit like and subscribe for more hidden stories behind the everyday things we take for granted. I'm Bob, and I'll see you in the next one.